Hello everyone, welcome to the Social Club. We are live. The draw is well underway, as you can see. The teams that have come out so far: Juventus versus Flash, Tottenham Hotspur, FC Basel host Steez, Manchester City, Porto, Liverpool. Wow, Rory's boys still to come out. What have we had? What have we missed while I've been talking?
Seville. I thought I saw Seville come out.
I
can't even see. I've lost my glasses.
Xabi Alonso is looking fantastic over there at the draw. I think we're all looking pretty good too. Let's find out where we are. Manchester United have come out. So we will hopefully have some reaction from Adam McCullough in a moment for that. Yeah. Sevilla, Manchester United.
It's a decent draw for them, isn't it?
This is shaping up all right.
It's
all right.
Yeah, so there's going to be some all English ties, isn't there, in the next round? It looks like it so far.
So the only
say that watch us all get knocked out.
The only team to finish with 16 points. The only team
from Real Madrid
in the whole of the European competition. And so far we got
full stretch.
We got the toughest team.
Okay, Real Madrid are the next team out.
Chelsea can't get this, can they?
No. So
not part of this.
We're just waiting. We're just waiting on Chelsea, are we?
You want PSG, don't you? To someone get knocked out.
Bear in mind, Chelsea can only. It's only PSG, Besiktas,
and
Barcelona.
Yeah. Avoid PSG.
Well, there's avoided PSG.
Fantastic. That's
fantastic.
Great news.
Yes.
That is a clash.
That is great news for all of us, really. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Somebody goes.
Someone's going, and hopefully it's Neymar's crying his way back to Brazil. Hopefully.
Oh, that's such good news. I'm so happy already.
What a time to be alive.
You're going to end up with Shakhtar, aren't you?
No, Besiktas. That's the dream. That's the dream.
So you're faced with Besiktas, who've only ever made it to the quarterfinals once in their entire history. Or
Barcelona.
Or Barcelona.
It could go either way.
So Barcelona, Roma and Besiktas are the only teams that can face Shakhtar now. So Shakhtar are out.
This could be Barcelona with a bit of luck. Please be Barcelona.
Oh, wow, this could be an easy...
This could be interesting, couldn't it?
Oh, Xabi, what are you doing? Shakhtar versus Roma.
So that means...
So that leaves Besiktas and Barcelona still open for Chelsea.
This is terrifying.
That is Russian roulette, isn't it? Quite literally,
really
yeah. That is...
Really
that's... Watching Besiktas and get knocked out anyway or something. This is tense.
This is tense.
Here we go.
They're flying through this quicker than normal, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Here we go.
Here he comes. Is it Barcelona?
Was it Besiktas?
Please be Besiktas. Please.
Look at his face. Confused man there.
There you go.
Oh, come on, Barcelona.
Come on.
Come on, Xavi, do us a favour.
FC Barcelona! Yes!
So that's Besiktas versus who's left over?
Besiktas versus Bayern.
Wow, okay, so just for completeness sake, we'll hold on to see who gets drawn out first of these.
That is so disappointing.
Wow, some good games.
Me and you are feeling pretty... Actually, you've probably got the hardest draw out of everybody.
So there you go, Bayern with the first team out there, which means they will face Besiktas. Wow,
what a shame. See, this is the price you pay for not topping your group. We could have had Shakhtar.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we topped our group with 16 points, more than any other team in the entire competition, and yet we draw Juve.
Yeah. I think this is because City have arrived anyway. We've got Basel in the next round. Usually it would have been Real Madrid, Barcelona, whatever.
So just before we didn't get a chance to do this before it all kicked off. What was the draw you were most looking for? What was the one you most wanted to have?
I think it was that one right there.
Right there. I'll be honest,
that's good. Yeah. That's really good.
Basel were weirdly the team that I wanted Liverpool to avoid because we've never beaten them in the Champions League. They're a little bit of a bogey team for us.
We've never beaten them.
The thing is, they're used to Manchester. They play United seemingly every season, so they'll be comfortable, in the Hilton or whatever.
This is a dream for you, though, Paul.
So that is the absolute perfect draw for us because as much as I would have liked, I've got nothing wrong with getting a Real Madrid draw because you want to play the biggest teams. I was kind of jealous of your group draw, if I'm honest. Yeah. Just because if you're going to come to the Champions League, you want to play in massive games. You want those big occasions.
Look, the best games this season for Tottenham have been Dortmund and Real Madrid and Liverpool at home, but especially Dortmund and Real Madrid. And it made a massive change to our season. I think, look, we got drawn the hardest group and we ended up topping it. We got looks about us and you out of the English teams. Spurs and Chelsea have got the most difficult ties there. But
the trouble is, they owe us. Like, if you're a Barcelona fan now, you think, right, payback.
Yeah.
Like the year that we won it, We played them. We couldn't get the ball off them. We ended up knocking them out with 10
They're a different team now, aren't they?
Yes,
not
true.
quite as good as them. Well, not
True.
even near as good as them.
I know, but
they're still Barcelona, aren't they?
It's still, and yeah, just the prestige that goes along with Barcelona. It's a terrifying prospect.
Well, it's as far as the Liverpool draw, then it's the first time Liverpool have met Porto in the Champions League since 2007. Last time we beat them 4-1 as well, which is very nice indeed.
The biggest tie of the round has got to be Madrid-Paris. I mean, that's two of the favourites for the Champions League there, and Real Madrid, obviously, they just win the Champions League, that's what they do, and then Paris Saint-Germain, many people's favourites. Someone's going home already. That's massive for the rest of the Premier League teams.
It's Real Madrid out of the two. We played them twice this year. They were okay, but they weren't like you know. You've got this idea about this huge monolithical side, European giant, all the history.
I think it's PSG.
And they come to Wembley, and it was. I miss it so much. They came to Wembley, and you know we dished them up a wallop.
Yeah, but the trouble is, on their day when they have so many big game players, like if Ronaldo turns up, if Gareth Bale turns up, if Luka Modric controls the tempo the way that he can, nobody can live with them, even PSG.
It's a good front line, isn't it? It's a team
Really?
that's conceding goals on the
believe in what Real Madrid were and what they are.
Well, let's just quickly have a quick word then. We spoke very briefly about our respective teams. We haven't heard from the Manchester United man himself, Mr. Adam McCullough, coming to us live via satellite, I believe. Yeah, Adam, what are your thoughts on Man United?
I'm happy with that, to be honest. After I saw Liverpool come out and you guys, I forgot who you got already, but you got one of the easier teams out of the teams that we could get. And I thought, oh, this is lining it up perfectly for us to be left with Bayern, Real and Juventus. And I wouldn't have minded getting Juventus, but I feel if we got Real or Bayern against us, we probably would have lost it if we're in the form we're in at the moment. But that's a good draw. But I don't want us to be thinking that it's a done deal. They scored 5 goals in the 2 games against Liverpool, didn't lose once. So they are a decent side. They've got a good record in European competition. And I'm hoping that we can get through the group at this stage. I think we should get through anyway. Have no doubt about that. And roll on the last day. I just hope we're not on the same day as Real Madrid against PSG. Anyway, back to you guys.
Amazing. Listen, thanks very much, Adam, for dropping in. So interesting, he says he wouldn't have minded Juventus.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get it. You're coming into these games and the people will make assumptions about this. They make assumptions about the group. They make assumptions about everything. And European Cup competition throws up surprises all over. I wouldn't be surprised if there are teams that struggle more than Tottenham in this time.
I wouldn't be surprised either, actually. Yeah. I can see you
right into that. You lot are fucked.
Yeah.
But Spurs are, you know, we're in a better position.
No, I think we're in as much trouble as you.
Right.
We can raise our game to play Barcelona. We've done it in the past. This is a bridge too far for you.
I don't think quite
you've never. This is an untrodden turf.
We're in an enviable position. There's no one expects us to win it. We know we're not going to win it. It's not an issue.
What do you mean no one's expecting you to win it? You come top of the group. You beat Real Madrid along the way. You beat Dortmund along the way. You made Dortmund look. I mean, I know they're not quite the team this season that they've been in recent years, but I think there will be an expectation on Spurs to put a good performance.
No, you don't. Of course no, we're making conversation here. No one expects Tottenham to win the European Cup.
No, I'm not expecting
anything less is a disappointment.
But bollocks to you. Yeah, let's do it down because I like to go for a pint on the continent.
Sorry.
You're in it to win it. What's the point? Well, every one of us should be looking at, with the exception, I think, of Chelsea, of the British teams,
who are done,
should be looking at it and thinking, these are all roughly winnable games. Look, again, Juventus are a team with a massive pedigree and all that, but not necessarily. Not you know, it's been what?
They're not as good as they were last year.
96 was the last time they won the Champions League.
Yeah, that's true. And also, they're the finalists the last 2 out of 3.
They love losing the
3 years. They do, but Inter Milan's top of Serie A, and you know they have the best financed club in Juve.
Bonucci's gone as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. So look, I'm not saying we can't get at them, and I think maybe I'm quite happy with it. Like, I quite like it's something we're not going to be in the Champions League every year, Tottenham. So if we get the opportunity to face off against some of these big sides, when we got Real Madrid and Dortmund in the group, I was like, amazing. That's 2 big clubs that we can have a go at. And as it turned out, 2 great games. Like I can't describe how good those nights were at Wembley. Juventus might be another one.
Just from, again, to bring it back to Liverpool from my perspective, I looked at our potentials and it was Basel, Bayern, Juve, Shakhtar, Porto or Real Madrid. I kind of wanted Shakhtar for the shits and giggles because we've never played them before. We've literally never played.
Away.
Well, exactly. But you're going over to the Ukraine and it comes with its own set of pedals,
You go to the Ukraine,
of
but then
course.
you go again. You fly to Kiev and you have to get a train for about 8 hours.
It's not real.
Aggro.
It's like 20, I thought it was about 20 hours.
Real tough.
From Kiev.
So I'd have liked to have seen it for the experience of it. But Porto, from a Liverpool perspective, is the perfect draw because they're a big team with a great pedigree in football.
And a wonderful trip.
Yeah,
exactly. But they're also that I think they're a neat step up for us. You know, they've won the Champions League before, so they've got that little bit of heritage as well. It's that perfect balance of, as you say, it being a nice trip. It also being, I don't want to say it's not easy, it's not winnable, but it's also not the fear factor that comes with Real Madrid.
You should score against them.
This is very winnable for Liverpool. This is like, I mean, I think when you're so invested as you are, sometimes it's very difficult to kind of step back and just appreciate the fixture.
Yeah.
But from a neutral's perspective,
yeah.
This is a dream for you, and Liverpool are so capable of winning this.
Well, exactly, and I think as Bayern as a potential, we did well against them in pre-season, but we know it counts for nothing. It's been a very long time since we've met them competitively. Past that, again, Juventus, the little bit of prize there, going back to the Champions League winning season in 2004-2005, beat them on the way. But yeah, for me, I say Porto is plumb, as you just said there. That was exactly who I wanted us to get. Not because I think it's an easy route.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a
mid-level.
Well, we haven't had that Champions League experience. We've been in it once in the last 5-6 seasons. You know what I mean? So we need to just get our feet under the table, and that means that there's a potential that the quarterfinals. If Liverpool get to a quarterfinals for the first time back in a few years,
anything can happen as well after that.
Absolutely.
Do you know what though? The way that I approach this fixture, Chelsea-Barcelona, is not dissimilar to you, because we also, as much as it's a very difficult one, it was mid-level because we didn't get PSG. And the whole purpose of today, as much as Barcelona's tricky and I was dreaming of Besiktas, avoiding PSG is, like, I feel very good inside. I feel a little bit like that little emoji, you know, that, just avoiding that, avoiding...
Which one?
That one, yeah. Avoiding PSG was a dream. Yeah. And anything that involved us not having to go to Paris for the 4th time in 5 years, or whatever is good.
That's the dream. That's acceptable. But this is also a nightmare.
See, I don't... I know, look, listen, we've said, all right, Besiktas don't... This is as far as Besiktas ever go in the competition.
Yeah.
But there's similarly in some... I mean, not quite the same as we mentioned with Shakhtar, but going to Turkey comes with its own...
Yeah, and they're very good at home. I think it's your old boy up front for them, you know.
What's his face?
Negredo.
Yeah.
So that, you know, they're a lively team, but I feel
like ran through every one of them.
We've got a lot of old boys. Yeah, that's the retirement.
I think with Besiktas, it's the type of game where you go away from home and you really struggle and you might lose 2-1.
Yeah.
But then you come home and you win 3-0.
Pumping. That's exactly the tie.
Bayern going to win that, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
definitely.
No problem. But Man City, though, you've got to be going into this thinking that's like Pep Guardiola's got to win this or the league. He has to.
Well, I think
he's won the league already. That's a problem.
One down.
We can just
the thing is for us that once again coming out with that kind of tricky winter period, whatever, when it gets going again, like we don't want a game like, I don't know, Paris Saint-Germain or something like that, a big team like that. That would have been, it would have been having that, then a big game the weekend as well in the Premier League. Now we've got, I mean, it's obviously going to be a huge game, but I think it's fair to say
you can start playing the second string in the league.
Yeah, just bring out the kids.
In the quarter.
Ball, we will beat them. We just will beat them. I'm very confident. They're a decent team.
Okay, that's fine.
But
it's a perfect time to throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm not
disrespecting
a good team. They put in a good effort against United every single time they play them every season. But we're just a categorically better team, and I suspect the way we play in the European competition will suffocate them. And I think that's the one draw that we could have dreamed for. And no disrespect to Ball, but we're just, we should be beating them.
So if people are watching, I want you to leave your thoughts on the particular fixtures. Write the fixture that you want to talk about and leave a little comment about whether you think it's good or bad for the team. Obviously, let's highlight Spurs, Juventus, Spurs, FC Basel, Man City, Porto, Liverpool, Sevilla, Man United, Chelsea, Barcelona. I think. And I'll go through some comments in a moment.
Something just popped into my head, and that's Juan Dybala. as a number 10. He's my favourite footballer outside of Tottenham.
He's a fantastic player,
He's
isn't
my
he?
favourite footballer.
I'd have him in a heartbeat, is he?
I mean, yeah, I want Daniel Levy to go over and just drop 200 mil. There you go, whatever. Forget Wembley. Forget the new stadium. Let's stop building it.
Go and play
get
MK Dons and get the
He's one of those players that you think would be at a Real Madrid or Barcelona already. You know,
Inevitably,
or I wouldn't surprised if PSG put a mad bid in.
I think in Barcelona more likely because he's idolised Messi than he plays with him in Argentina, and it's just. You know, it's going to be tricky, and you know, but so what?
We got some comments in. Actually, a lot of people talking about Paris Saint-Germain. CBY Bulldogs saying it'd be funny to see plastic PSG out. I think they'll beat them. Do we have a depth of ill feeling towards Paris Saint-Germain?
I like anything that upsets the status quo. I really do.
So you're pro PSG in this regard?
I'm indifferent. I'm just happy. I'm kind of like
You didn't vote for Brexit, when you
I quite like. Well, my political allegiance has no relevance here. But
oh my God! Hang on a second.
What?
That's fine.
Brexit, you know, it's Trump, all that, it's all good. You know, no, what I'm saying, but Man City, what was good about the Man City thing, you are cheating, but...
Cheating?
Yeah, you're cheating. But the thing is that you upset the apple cart, and I like that. I like the fact that there isn't this, you know, Paris Saint-Germain come in, they've upset Barcelona, they've almost destabilised them as a football club, and then they went on to actually play football and turned out, and it was great. But, you know, I've got no issue with the fact that they can buy Neymar for 200 million because someone will.
Also, they're not
anything
like
upsets Real Madrid.
PSG are an established.
good.
They're an established club with a very good tribal support.
What, it's like, they're only 40 years old, though, aren't they?
No, they're an amalgamation with a team, but
they're 40 years old.
It's going to be a huge fixture.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah,
it's cool. I can't figure where you stand on this, Flav. I feel like you're flip-flopping. But no, I agree. I agree from the Paris Saint-Germain regard. There's something about Real Madrid. Look, I've always had it. They are the super team in Europe, aren't they? You always cast a jealous glance at them. You can't help but do because they've always got those players that you admire and what have you. They've got too many Champions Leagues, as far as I'm concerned.
They've had enough.
That needs to stop.
Yeah.
I don't mind, you know. And as much as I'm not keen on new teams winning it. I just would like teams that
I've got that issue as well. I like to keep it as like closed the club.
Oh, you would do now?
Yeah, of course. Now we're in it. Yeah, now we've joined the party. There's no more entrance. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
build a wall.
exactly.
But equally, there is defo something too. I don't know. Is it a good thing or a bad thing if Paris Saint-Germain go on and win the Champions League and it's Neymar who's the guy who guides them to it? Is that a good thing or a bad thing for football?
Football now. It's just football, isn't it? It's just where you just accept that it's a part of it. If it happens to your club, happy days, and just look across at Paris and just think, well, at least it's them rather than Real Madrid winning again or Arsenal. Whatever it is. You just find where your allegiances are. It ain't a good thing or it ain't a bad thing for football. It just is the way it is. I think.
I do agree. I mean, obviously, I'm intrinsically biased because I'm a Manchester City fan, but the idea of it not being Barcelona, Bayern, and Real every year it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is fun. It's like how watching Messi and Ronaldo sweeping up the Ballon d'Ors gets boring. It's like sometimes you want a bit of change.
Everything the PSG have done, everything the PSG have been accused of, Real Madrid did when we were kids anyway.
So
they're only guilty of the same crime that Real Madrid are guilty of.
It's not fun, and actually there are more kind of political angles to the Real Madrid story. It's much kind of
the whole the debt thing.
Although I suppose if you want to put a political angle on it, the fact that they're backed by a country rather than a person, that's huge.
Well, so
I suppose so Real Madrid.
Right, let's get into a few comments then. Hayden Lowe, Liverpool Porto. I really want us to get a big boy team, not Porto. Hopefully next round, if we get through, we get a big team.
They are big.
They won the Champions League not that long ago.
Mourinho won it.
15 years.
Swarm Harbin Flav has a Juve jumper on.
Oh, it was fake.
Well, I got told I had me Inter Milan colours on as well, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I do.
I've gone Real Madrid.
Can't lose this one.
Michael Garner, following on from the comment previously, Liverpool-Porto was a tough game. Porto finished above both Leipzig and Monaco in the group. We can't handle pace, and Abubakar is strong, fast, and scoring loads at the moment. That is the best analysis on this entire stream. Thank you very much, Michael. Right, okay. So, Pills Kid 19 says, I want us to predict every time. So let's just quickly run through it then. If you just join us. So the draw is as follows. Juventus versus Tottenham Hotspur, FC Basel versus Manchester City, Porto versus Liverpool, Sevilla versus Man United, Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain, Shakhtar Donetsk versus AS Roma, Chelsea versus Barcelona, Bayern Munich versus Besiktas. Right then, people in the comments as well, if you could start leaving your prediction for how each of those ties will go. let's get stuck into it, gents. Juventus, Tottenham. We'll keep you out of this for a moment, mate.
Juve.
Juve.
I think Spurs, if I'm honest.
2-1. It's 2-1 though.
You two,
So Juve.
I just see them being a little bit too wily for Spurs in general. They've been around the block a little bit.
I don't know.
I think they'll kind of get at their naivety in the Champions League.
Oh, they're underestimating us.
This has got one of those situations where you can see
away.
Son's pace being a massive threat against
He was great at the weekend.
I love him.
Really good.
He's never unhappy, regardless of the situation.
And here's the thing, look,
sun's always shining.
the Champions League defines players, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think Harry Kane's proved himself so far so good.
I can understand
I want to see Harry Kane tested against the best footballers and the best defenders in the world. So interesting one. So we've got a 2-1 vote.
Fair enough.
In favour of Juve.
We'll presume that was a 2-2, but let us know that in the comments below. FC Basel as Man City. Steve, you can step out of this one. But to be fair, does anyone think Basel have got a chance here?
No chance. I imagine that if we had a commentator on from Basel, they would agree that they're in big trouble here.
What's the Basel fan channel doing right now? Has anyone been in touch?
Yeah,
They're doing bits right now. Like, absolutely going massive.
Man City and Paris.
How's the Man City fan channel doing?
We haven't got one.
Exactly.
Not me.
Check out the Esteemed Kompany, of course, for greater in-depth analysis, if you can be bothered. Porto versus Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool going through.
Liverpool
They're
going
attacking Proels.
Yeah.
So good, so exciting going forward.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Porto, sorry.
I think Klopp will come into his own here as well.
And given the fact that the league, it looks like it's long gone now for Liverpool, it's like almost a release, isn't it, the Champions League?
Yeah.
And you're a cup team, I think, the way you play.
Well, it's interesting because, we very much preferenced the Champions League this week. We put our absolute best possible team out against Spartak Moscow to make sure we got this far. I don't think you do that and then don't treat this as the big game at the big game.
So Liverpool through.
Liverpool through. Sevilla, Man United. Now, just on this, because I've seen a lot of Sevilla lately. I've seen a lot of Sevilla. Obviously, we had them in our group. I think they're very beatable. But equally, as we've seen, that's twice we've thrown away leads against them. It'd be interesting to see. I don't think Man United will throw leads away quite like we do. So
it's the way they play Sevilla, though. They do keep the ball, and they think they've got the second best possession in the competition. And they got. Like Nolito, Navas, two ex-City players, they might have something to say in that. And
that would be interesting.
United do tend to. They played Sevilla before, and they give them a good game, Sevilla. And I remember Bilbao going at United a few years back as well. And I can see that's not. They'll probably get through because that's what United do. But that's not an easy draw for them. I think Sevilla will give them a game.
From what you've seen of Seville in your group, and obviously you know them, what are you going for? I'm going to base my vote around your thoughts here.
I'll be honest. I think Man United will come out simply because they're Man United, and I think Mourinho's just got such amazing European pedigree to call upon in this regard. And again, just the depth there, getting Zlatan back into form as well. It's on February. He's going to be back. He's going to be properly flying by then as well. I think Sevilla could give them a real bloody nose, if I'm honest. I think the second half performance in Seville against us, the manager revealed to his players that he's got cancer, which give them a big lift, and you don't know how long
really
that...
play that card again,
well, I don't know whether you can play that again, but whether there's...
it's all not in a bad way.
But then again, you don't know whether that becomes like a full-on... Is that an impetus? Look, it shouldn't be underestimated. Record 5 times Europa League winners in Sevilla, but they very rarely translated to Champions League success. So I think it would be... I wouldn't put money on Sevilla, I wouldn't put my house on Sevilla.
Too strong.
I think it's Man United.
It's Man United.
I'll go Man United as well. Would you reckon, Flo?
Yeah, I'll go Man United as well. Yeah, I think out of all of the ties, that's probably the most 50-50, and maybe Real Madrid and Paris, maybe. But hard to pick.
That's almost impossible to call the next one that we're going to talk about.
Is it?
Yes.
I've seen Real Madrid at close quarters twice, but also watched their game against Dortmund. The highlights and whatnot. Paris Saint-Germain will look ferocious. Mbappe recorded a near Usain Bolt level of speed
with the ball. With the ball.
He was like half a second below the world record, 100 metres.
Yeah.
It's 18 years old. It's mad, isn't it?
Mad.
The kids are incredible. Real Madrid did look vulnerable. Zidane didn't have the same impact this year. Harry Winks held his own against Luka Modric in midfield. We hit them on the break. They looked a shambles at the back at times against Spurs.
Do the know-how of Real Madrid not just make you think? Just
I mean,
the fact that it's the Bernabeu and the prestige of the club.
Yeah, and you've got Ronaldo.
And Bale. The list goes on.
They've got some incredible players. Cruz. at the back they've still got an aging back line, but
it depends for Real Madrid what happens domestically, because if they continue to struggle a little bit,
prioritise.
Exactly, you do prioritise the Champions League. If the league's done by the end of
by the time this
February,
fixture's played,
it's good to fall back on, isn't it? You're not going to win the league, and Champions League's not bad.
But I think the story's primed, isn't it? For Paris Saint-Germain. I don't know whether you'll get, we don't know how financially they're going to be at the end of the season. There's probably going to be a massive fire sale in the summer. Well, will they be able to maintain what they're doing? Could they be a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, they have to make £80 million in January.
80?
80. They've got to sell £80 million.
But that's fine. 80 million is easy for a club to make.
It's not a huge amount. I mean, they could sell Cavani for twice, probably twice that. So they will be able to solve this problem. But at the moment, there's an £80 million hole.
Right.
In their finances that needs to be sorted before the deadline.
So we're getting some shouts through. Finn Gilmore saying Real, Milesy20 says PSG, Arif Wijnarko, PSG, Tinley PSG. Lots and lots of shouts for PSG.
I think Paris Saint-Germain.
I think they'll do them.
I just think they're the story of the season, aren't they?
Yeah.
And again,
I think they believe it as well, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then they've got Neymar and Mbappe.
Should we do a show hands then? Real Madrid?
I'll go Real Madrid.
Right, Paris.
I find it hard to never. I always think Real Madrid will win a game. Whenever I watch Real Madrid, I think they're going to win it.
Yeah. Okay, then so just for clarity and completeness, PSG then. Okay, Shakhtar versus Roma.
Tell us about Roma, Rob.
Roma are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really lively, really sort of electric going forward, very attacking mindset. I would think that Roma will win this comfortably. We couldn't live with them. But home and away, they battered us both. We took a point off them at home, but they battered us away. But in fairness, they were the far better team at Stamford Bridge as well. Incredible support. Yeah. I just don't think Shakhtar will be able to live with them.
Shakhtar were really good against City as well. At the Etihad, they were the best we played at that point in the season for the first 45 minutes. They kept the ball really well. They've got a couple of really nice players like that. Bernard, another little guy who's going to come out of nowhere and really big. And Marlos. They're just really intelligent.
What was the final score of that game?
Are they the only team
we won 2-1 in the end. Sorry?
Who's the only team to beat you so far this season?
Shakhtar beat them.
Yeah, we rested everyone. It was we kind of basically didn't. We threw for the derby.
I saw you wouldn't have seen this on the camera, but I saw the wry smile when he said, it's going
to be a good game. It's going to be a really good game. It's going to be a good fixture because I think Shakhtar are a decent team. Obviously, Roma got Eddie Dzeko there.
It's also the least likely to watch. I mean, I can't watch all the football, and that's one I'm definitely going to be tinning.
Right,
out of all of those fixtures, definitely. I ain't watching that one.
I think Roma, when you consider, it astounds me that we took Mo Salah after them and they're still absolutely amazing. So yeah, I can't see past Roma, but then I'll be honest. I mean, look, Shakhtar are there in the Champions League every single season.
Yeah, they know what it takes.
They've got that. But just from seeing what Roma have done to Chelsea, I can't see past Roma.
Eddie Dzeko going to bag a few probably.
Yeah,
absolutely. So what we going for?
Yeah, Roma.
Full house Roma.
Yeah, I'll go for Roma as well.
Okay, Rory. The big one.
This is the one.
You keep your powder dry for a second. What do we think? Can Chelsea get past Barcelona?
All jokes aside, yeah, they can get past them. Will they? I don't know. It's it's another tough one. I think Conte in his counter-attack style, if he plays free at the back, you've seen what he's done with unfancy teams in the European Cup. The Euros the other summer. He finds a way of getting through with an unfancy team. Italy did the same thing. He's won the league with Chelsea. That said, it's all about having Lionel Messi wants to carry them through.
Chelsea's best performance this season, in my opinion, was the Atletico Madrid game.
That was away from home.
Massive game. Bear in mind, no one from the English teams beat Atletico away. So I can see you digging in and putting in a big performance, but it's Barcelona, isn't it? It's just like just too much quality there. They're not the Barcelona role.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
and I think this is it's basic analysis in Barcelona. We can say everyone knows they're not what they are.
So.
They've still got Messi and they've still got Suarez,
but they do have. They've
got Paulinho as well.
Well, and Alcacer's appeared and scoring goals like no one's business. But they still have Gerard Deulofeu in the squad, which
is crazy.
Which is mental.
Dennis Suarez.
So it's an interesting one. You know what? I'm going to go for the full British clean sweep on from mine. I know you didn't go with Spurs in the Juventus game, but I think we'll see all.
What were you saying about Brexit again?
Proof that we're better than yours. Yeah, so I could see Chelsea getting through this if I'm honest. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's. I think it's going to be very similar to how you have done these games in the past. I think it'll be there'll be one goal in it, or it'll be on away goals, or something like that. But, we're talking about exactly Hazard. We're talking about Messi. We're talking about Suarez. Morata and Hazard are as good as anything in this tournament, in my opinion, anyway. And that's not even counting Willian, again, Fabregas,
Pedro going back to his
old
club.
Naming your players. We all know the Chelsea players, the good players.
Yeah.
I think there's no reason for Chelsea to be fearful, because Chelsea are just as capable.
I think what it is, though, at the moment, we're a very vulnerable team. Like, it's not like this time last year where I couldn't really see us getting beaten. We're now going into every fixture and any outcome is a possibility. So, but by any outcome, I do also mean I wouldn't be that surprised if we were to win. But
it must be tough mentally for Chelsea, because a lot of people were saying last year, like, as soon as you have to play every week in the Champions League, it'll start to affect your form. And then when it comes true, you start thinking, oh wait, is it actually affecting our form? Then that doubt seeps into your game as well, and the players start to think it, the managers start to think, and it's shaking that kind of from your subconscious is really difficult. It's that nagging down.
And we're just not as good. We're just not as good as we were this time last year. Even like the first 11, it's just not as good a team. Like, we've taken out Diego Costa and we've put in Alvaro Morata. And don't get me wrong, I think Alvaro Morata is a great player, but he's not Diego
Well, he's
Costa.
the kind of person you want in that kind of game, Costa.
Yes.
You want an absolutely bastard.
Costa single-handedly drags you to victory.
Yeah.
Alvaro, Costa throws an elbow and does all the horrible stuff that a centre forward needs to do to be effective. Yeah. Alvaro Morata is a very nice guy who loves baking cakes on Instagram and stuff, but he doesn't. He doesn't have great hair, beautiful wife.
Does he have great hair?
But he doesn't.
He's in a bit in between us. Like,
I got a feeling it's like
hair.
German Pro Evolution Master League. He looks like every play from that combined into one. Castillo and Jimenez and all that. It's basically that lot there. But
agreed.
Even the name Morata.
He's gonna go there. We've got a very strong Spanish contingent in the team. They're all going to have a point to prove when we go over to play at the Nou Camp. Could happen.
And
it's probably a better time to play him, is there really?
Okay, so just quickly then, Chelsea, Barcelona.
I'm going to say Barcelona still.
Same, Barcelona.
I'm going to give it to Chelsea because I've told you it's going to be all 5 British teams.
I think Chelsea will win. I think Chelsea will win every game, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I think Chelsea beat West Ham.
And then lastly, can anyone see anything other than a Besiktas defeat here?
No, nothing other than a Besiktas defeat. If we were Bayern Munich fans now, we would be dancing around.
8 points clear as well. They'll probably be 13, 14 points clear by that point in the Bundesliga, so they can put everything into that game. I'd be surprised if they're...
So before we wrap it up then, I want your prediction for who's going to lift the Champions League this season. Flav.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Go ahead.
Agreed.
PSG.
Wow,
why wouldn't you go for City? Because I nearly went for City.
It's that whole heart thing. You'd be surprised for people, but I don't know.
I agree. PSG have been.
I think we'll get to the semis at least.
It's not even just the way they win. It's like Man City in the league before this current spell of 4 straight victories that you've had. Apart from Shakhtar, your form hasn't been quite as dominant as it was in the first start of the season.
But that's good. That's what you want.
That's
a brilliant thing.
No, this isn't a criticism. It's just
Paris
Saint-Germain, what they're doing, they're not just beating teams, they are tearing them.
And let's be honest about Paris is that the same thing gets said about them and levelled them every season. It's a balance because they're not playing as much competitive football during the season, which is good and bad. Well, exactly. Which is good because you're not extending yourself week in, week out. You can focus a bit more, but equally you're not challenging yourself on a weekly basis. Which is why I wonder whether this one season bounce factor of just bringing Neymar in, who was already one of the best players going.
In terms of form, I think there is though. Every Champions League, there is that kind of shock result where the most expected team just somehow doesn't turn up and goes out. So I wonder if that, because it's been so easy for Paris Saint-Germain that when they come up against Real Madrid, they don't have the experience perhaps as a team collectively they've been playing together that long.
As brilliant as Mbappe is, and as glorious as his career is going to be, the future is very bright for that young man. He doesn't have the know-how and the wily skills that are necessary to, when he comes up against Ramos.
Yes, yeah.
Like Ramos is going to really play him. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if Mbappe rises to the challenge and has a wonderful game.
I don't know.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if Ramos does something and he gets sent off after 10 minutes.
He's among the most detestable human beings ever to walk the earth.
But you love him to play for your club.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah.
He's all right,
mate.
isn't he?
Why not?
Because you've got models.
Well, you had Suarez for ages, and you
This is me. I'm not that.
You've got morals. You've got morals. Sorry, I was trying to attack you, man.
Footballing bellend.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, then, Steve, who's winning the Champions League?
I'm probably going to go for PSG. It's interesting, though, that I don't think we've ever had a better time to go really, really far in this, given the fact that we're really buoyant at the moment.
That's because we've been shit for so long.
I think Chelsea are going to win it. If Chelsea don't win it, I've got a terrible feeling Manchester City.
For me, I think it's down to two teams. I think it's City or Paris Saint-Germain.
Such a weird thing to hear that. From rival clubs to hear City, the City are that well.
You've got everything. You've got all of the ingredients are in place for you to win it. You've got a manager who knows exactly what he's doing. You've got a team that's dazzling to watch. You can score goals.
Already wrapped up.
You've got the league already wrapped up. If not this year, when? And the other
I agree.
The other thing that you've done, which sort of Flav touched on a minute ago, is you're currently the situation that is currently happening, where you're winning game after game after game. This is your blip.
Yeah.
This is them. Oh, they're off form. What?
41
Are they dropping points? No, they're winning every game, but they're just not winning.
What I would say, and I've made a couple of comments, and I am mucking about. Obviously, you're not cheating; it's just part of the game and stuff like that. But this is the bare minimum you should be expecting now.
I agree.
But City can't keep playing this kind of coy. We're still Man City. You're not. You're a superpower in world football now. And it doesn't matter how you got to this position, you are at. So it's
weird. I've watched this. I grew up watching Alan Ball, Frank Clark, and buying Lee Bradbury for $3 million from Gillingham.
Alan Ball, how old are you?
Yeah, he was 94. I'm 32, mate. So I was 10.
You mean managing?
Yeah, managing. Yeah.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What? Yeah, no, I'm 64 years old.
By the same token, you can't get away with not winning things.
No, I agree, but it's like mentally, it's hard to adapt to.
Teams that can't get away without winning anything anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're never going to win anything. It's fine. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
All right. We don't spend any money. We can. That can always be my excuse.
But I do see now when we play, I see teams come to us and they treat us like the way they treat Barca or Bayern. So it's weird now.
Okay, well, listen, thanks very much to the guys for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to the respective channels, and of course subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel as well. More Social Club coming up for you later on, but most importantly, flying through to the Christmas period as well. So get subscribed, make sure you get the videos first, and we shall see you later on this week.